What is your recommendations for a small business email solution for 3 employees? Use their website hosting company. Use Gmail and customize it so it doesn't look like a Gmail account or other. I always do Gmail, Scott. I always just use the SMTP settings through Gmail. So essentially, let me rephrase that. I use the webmail account with my hosting account, but I set up SMTP through Gmail and an alias. Okay, that way I can send and receive emails directly from my Gmail. Does that make sense? So let me just give you an example. Take a look at this, guys. I got a ton of aliases. See that? So that's what I'm saying. I always do everything right through Gmail. The reason why is because, Gmail is like industry standard. Number one, it's just easy to use. We're all familiar with it. And in my opinion, it's the best way to set it up. Okay.
The only problem with that is if the receiver, the person who receives the email, is using Outlook, and Outlook will expose the original account. So it'll say, like, if your Gmail is Bradley Benner, and you're sending a Semantic Master email, it'll be bradleybenner@gmail.com on behalf of Outlook. Right. I'm pretty sure, or I think Outlook is the only one that'll do that. That will expose what's behind the alias.
Okay. Well, yeah. the more complicated route that I don't like to do, but you can use Google Apps and set up a business email account through Google. That way,
Google Suite, which is pretty easy to set up, and then you get your own storage associated with it, which is kind of nice. So, like, I use that for some stuff. It's not that bad.
You can do that. I just stick with regular Gmail, but that's another way that you can do it.
One cool thing about that, I will say, is that you can have several inboxes open, and Google knows that, like, you can do that. So, like, I have 2 or 3 Gmail tabs open and in the same browser, and it knows the difference between them. So it's kind of nice.
Cool.
So
he said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that if you use Google Suites, you won't be able to sign into Humpty Hangouts. Yeah. You won't be able to watch our anything Semantic Master. You'll have to do it through a regular Gmail account.
Yep.
Good point.
However, we may be eliminating that as an issue over the next couple months, but we'll talk about that at a later date. All right. So he says, how do you do number 2? Scott, go to YouTube and search SMTP settings for Gmail, or Gmail, set up Gmail alias. Just go to YouTube and search for it. I'm sure you'll find plenty of tutorials that will help you set that up. It's very, very simple to do. And in cPanel, if you're using your web hosting, you just click on configure email client, and it will give you all of your SMTP, the details that you need to add in the Gmail when you set up the SMTP settings. It'll give that information to you. So just go to your webmail section in cPanel, and then go to the webmail address and click on configure email client, and it'll basically expand like a drop down, and then it'll give you all of your host. It's usually like host.domain.com or whatever your host is, or mail.domain.com, and then it'll give you your port number and TTL or SSL or something like that, or whatever. It's really simple to do, and you can figure it out. Just go to YouTube and find a tutorial.